broke attendance records at his 60th annual meeting because Warren Buffett had so much to say. First, he announced his retirement from Berkshire Hathaway after more than 50 years as CEO. Along those lines, he had plenty of new information to share with his longtime followers, including his thoughts on the future of the company. He's going to go into this a lot more deeply. I'm going to discuss what Buffett said, the exact words for this thread breakdown that we have here on X, because it helped me a lot. I'm sure it will do well, and I feel this is very important right now because XRP will do very well if he is right about many of his predictions and what he thinks will happen in the future, just like everyone else. Here's the gist of it. Once we cover the facts, Berkshire has $335 billion, 0 cents in the bank. At his 60th annual meeting, which was also a shopping day, Buffett revealed some stunning truths about himself, and many people have said that it was the best meeting ever. Here is a rundown of what happened. With 19,700 attendees, suite sales increased by 317%, Brooks by 310%, and Jaws by 94%, doubling their previous record sales. There is still a significant impact from Buffett, but it's clear that Berkshire made some unexpected announcements. For instance, they made a big fuss about investing in Japan, which has been a major emphasis for Berkshire Hathaway recently. I'm going to play this clip to show you all what we're talking about, just so you know. Japan and South Korea are huge markets for XRP. We'll get to that in a bit, but for now, this is a critical matter. We definitely won't sell those in. It's still difficult for me to fully grasp his point, but I can get past the fact that his speech isn't as polished as it once was. Warren is essentially arguing that the Japanese market is experiencing continued growth in the business and technology sectors despite the decline in the country's population. He basically means that their economy is booming and their businesses are fiercely competitive and deal in heavy trade. These changes are crucial as they pertain to SBI Holdings, a Japanese banking giant that deals in cross-border funds and has direct ties to Ripple and XRP. It's fantastic to witness their continued success. The tools that will govern the future are being developed, and we can observe that Greg Ale, who will succeed Buffett, meets with Japanese companies multiple times a year. They state that they are building connections so that they can accomplish great things globally. This is not merely an investment, it is a long-term relationship. I would also like to play this video clip. I must say, I am in complete agreement with you when you say that this is the perfect project for our team. I am also impressed that Germany has recently invested in it. Warren, in the long run, I really enjoy that aspect of our friendship, and I think they would be open to giving us opportunities if we ask nicely. We're both financially stable, get along famously, and their approaches are unique. As far as I can tell, the most popular Coca-Cola drink is Georgia coffee, but they have no plans to switch to it, and I have no plans to switch them to Cherry Coke either. Regardless, we have a great relationship otherwise. I've also had the pleasure of doing business with a Japanese Bitcoin miner for a while. The fact that the entire nation of Japan and SBI assets are behind XRP is really significant, as many Japanese people take their work very seriously. It's also cool that Warren is describing something similar to the XRP army and the future growth of XRP. Another thing is that since Warren Buffett doesn't always say what he's thinking, I'll discuss what he says and what I think it means when he talks about his cash pile. This is probably the most important thing we'll cover in this video. In case you didn't know, Buffett has a record high of $335 billion, 0 cents in cash on hand. Because, market manipulation, you can't just say it, but he can give us clues as to what was going through his mind. I doubt it when we're presented with something that makes sense, that we understand is valuable, and that we don't believe we could have been in this trading thing for 80 years times 200 trading days. So that's 16 million 16, business days. The only downside is that things don't always go according to plan. It would be perfect if everything went according to plan every single day. There were 4 opportunities, and each one was supposed to be equally attractive. If our business were structured like a numbers game, we'd keep 40% of daily handle earnings. Instead, we're very opportunistic. Charlie always thought I was doing too much, and he worried that if we 5 areas where we could improve our life compared to 50. You know what's cool? Boren isn't in a rush to buy anything. He always checks the prices first. When it comes to business, he really examines everything. If he doesn't like something, he doesn't buy it. If there's one bad quarter, he doesn't do anything. His impeccable track record teaches us a lot about his integrity. He never buys or spends money unless he truly believes in something. If he thinks a stock isn't a good investment, for example, or if management isn't running the company according to his standards, he will tell you so. Is a bit pricey, he won't purchase it. He will only invest in stocks that he believes are inexpensive because that's how he maximizes his profits. He spends all day poring over their financial records and whatever else he can find. If he finds a good deal, he buys it. His record shows that when that happens, he makes more. I think there is a lot to learn about investing from that. I also think this is very useful information that Warren is giving us. It happens pretty rarely, but it has done pretty well over the last 50 years. Take a look at these 400x gains. You would have been pretty rich today if you had invested in Berkshire Hathaway a long time ago. He basically says that the markets are a bit too pricey for things like stocks and similar things, and he doesn't really agree with the market. He doesn't want to buy it because he thinks it's too expensive. Something very clear is that if the chance came up tomorrow, we would spend $0 billion on it and have concerns about the business's viability in the long run. His statements make it sound like we're prepared to invest hundreds of billions of dollars, but in reality, the market doesn't provide the opportunity we desire. Additionally, it's important to remember that the stock market as a whole has been experiencing tremendous turmoil with prices skyrocketing, and the cryptocurrency market isn't much different. The fact that interest rates are still falling and the money supply is still increasing strongly suggests that we have not yet reached the peak. However, it is important to closely monitor these numbers for strategies like dollar cost averaging. In fact, that is precisely what I am doing on my channel to ensure that we exit at a reasonable time. I feel a bit guilty admitting that Tim Cook has brought in far more money for Berkshire than I have ever made for them, but he was basically claiming to be making an absurd amount of money, so I guess that's the gist of it. He's been doing this for around 15 months now, which explains